This beanbag stuff is what hit me in the face. Paintball, yeah, it was a madhouse.
A woman describes to us how she was hit by a police baton round in California as officers pepper sprayed crowds voicing anger at the latest fatal shooting of an unarmed black man. Her story coming up +2. Meanwhile, police in Louisiana released graphic bodycam video showing the moment a 6-year-old boy was shot dead by officers. Ahead as well, opening a can of worms, a Danish far-right party hands out so-called Asylum Spray in a stunt to highlight self-defense against physical attacks from migrants. We heard the arguments for and against, and it's exactly a year since Russia launched its anti-terror campaign in Syria to try and turn the tide in the war. Now Moscow's warning that Washington's threats to not cooperate with it against extremists could worsen the conflict. Hoping to have a big live comment on that coming up too. Big hour to come. Hi there, just turned 5 p.m. here in Moscow. You're live with RT International and me, Kevin Owen, coming to you from RTHQ here in Moscow. So to that top story first off. Protests against police brutality turned violent in the U.S. city of El Cajon in California on Thursday night. Officers used pepper spray to disperse dozens of activists there. 2 people were reportedly detained.
Get some water to pour on his eyes.
One protester who was hit in the face by a police flexible baton round, as it's called, spoke to us and showed us her injuries. She explained what happened around her to my colleague Ewan O'Neill.
You were just innocent bystanders standing outside of 7-Eleven, and they all the militarized police started coming towards us, started shooting at us, started throwing tear gas, started throwing these little beanbag things, which is what hit me in the face. Yeah, so it was crazy. We were just standing there doing nothing.
Can you describe how the police reacted when you were there? Was there already something happening at the time you were there, or were you there initially when the police arrived?
No, the police had already been there when I had showed up. The police had been there for a while.
And were they trying to disperse the protesters?
Whatever. I was just minding my own business, and they came up on me and all my friends and shot me in the face for no reason.
Were your friends okay? Did anybody else get injured in the unrest?
My friend got tear gas straight in the face. She started vomiting. This beanbag stuff is what hit me in the face. Paintball, yeah, it was a madhouse for no reason.
Was there a warning from the police that you may be fired upon if you didn't move?
No warning.
It was the 3rd night of demonstrations in El Cajon over the shooting of an unarmed black man by police. Clashes started when authorities declared that rally there unlawful. That prompted the protesters to hurl objects at the officers. We spoke with another eyewitness on what escalated.
I was hiding behind an electrical box when they pushed us down through this alley that's behind me, and that's when they started shooting the beanbags and threw some more tear gas. I saw the first guy. He got hit a couple of times with the paintballs, and he went to the ground. A man with a cane tried to go help him, and at that point they threw a tear gas grenade, like literally right on top of them. We tried pulling him away, and then he dropped a little bit because he wasn't able to breathe very well. And then I got a couple little souvenirs here. I don't know if you can see them very well. These are the bean bags they shot, shotgun shells and tear gas grenades right here. I have a mask and a bandana too. I took it off for a second to wipe the fog out of the glasses, and it got my eyes and felt it in the back of my throat, that's for sure.
The killing that sparked the protests happened on Tuesday. Police opened fire on Alfredo Lango when he pulled apparently an object from his pocket and then reportedly pointed at one of those officers. But then they later acknowledged to the police that the object was not a weapon, it was an e-cigarette. Then in a separate incident in Louisiana, police there released video now showing the moment of a 6-year-old boy, his last moments as he was shot by the police. Please be warned here, this is upsetting.
Oh.
They got any weapons on them?
I have no idea. Whenever I pulled on the side,
they got more than one subject in there, too. I know that, right? On the passenger side.
There's a juvenile.
Right.
We're going to be meeting the helicopter at Morrisville Hospital.
For the juvenile?
Well, in fact, that shooting took place last November, but the video's only just been released now because the two officers are facing murder charges. In total, they fired 18 shots into that car. The sound only appears in the footage once they've finished shooting. The boy was hit 5 times in the head and the chest. Lawyers for the two policemen claimed they were acting in self-defense. They said the boy's father rammed it into one of the officers' cars, his car into theirs. The tragedy's just one, though, of a number of incidents currently causing outrage over U.S. police tactics.
This afternoon, 2 detectives assigned to our intelligence section were driving down the street here, and they saw a young man with a firearm, or what looked like a firearm, in his hand. One of our 2 police officers discharged his firearm at the young man.
He found! Going west! To the house! Get the fuck! Get the house out!
Who's outside?
The police.
And what are they trying to do? Sergeant, what are they trying to do?
They trying to kill us.
Flag, Correction Flag, now West Carroll, Northwest, 8700 Championship, Wells Fargo. We don't
Incidents like this continue to happen primarily for 3 reasons. Number 1, you're not recruiting an officer with the right personality. You have to have emotional maturity. You have to have less of that John Wayne go-get-'em personality and more of the sensitive, empathetic personality. That's number 1. Number 2, they have to have the proper training. You cannot hold anybody responsible if they're not trained to do the job. Number 3, and this is a biggie, you have to hold them accountable if they violate their training, and that's so seldom done.